We ready?
I'm ready.
This is metal.
It's absolutely not metal.
That's metal. Yeah, it's definitely ceramic. So, Pascagoula. Alright.
Oh, do you want me to
No,
do
I
it?
got it. Hey everybody, this is Backwater Cider, and we're here with a spooky cider tasting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be tasting some Angry Orchard cider, which is some cider that we can get here in Mississippi. Probably one of the most common ones here.
It's probably one of the most common ones in the entire United States.
Well, yeah, probably. But the first one we have here is their Crisp Apple. It's their main cider, their flagship cider, if you will. It's 5% ABV. It's got 20 grams of sugar, which is pretty sweet.
Located in Walden, New York.
Yeah, it's from New York, and they distribute down here. They distribute nationwide. From what I understand, that they are owned by Sam Adams. So that's one way they get their nationwide distribution and footprint. And they have a marketing budget and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You've seen the commercials.
And we wanted to do this tasting because a lot of times we refer to Angry Orchard kind of like as a benchmark because we view it as the most common cider to get around here. You can get woodchuck in some places, but I mean, from our perspective, Angry Orchard is the American cider.
Well, at least for southern United States, where cider is not common at all.
Of course, you can get other things, but as far as probably most prolifically sold around the country.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for the rest of the country, but
of course, there's big brands elsewhere, and they're in the New England and the West Coast. You can get all kinds of other stuff. So this may not be the most popular there, but it's probably
it's available
like
there.
The Big Mac of ciders. You can get it about anywhere you want to go. I like Big Macs. It's fine. That's not an insult.
I just thought soggy. That's all I saw when you said Big Mac. Soggy burger. Warm lettuce. Really warm Thousand Island dressing. Ugh. A little more.
It's really hard to see.
We have our special mugs that you can't see in by design because all Angry Orchard. So never mind.
It's all going to be clear. It's all filtered.
It's a little yellow.
Or anything we get here, anyways.
Yeah.
I've heard they have an unfiltered one.
It smells like candy apple. It smells like a candy apple you get at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly. It smells fake apple. Caramel apple. Less caramel, just sweet.
They do not, do they?
What?
Where's the ingredients list?
May not be on there. That's government warning.
Nope.
Yeah, this might be it here.
Ingredients: hard cider.
No, it says?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
Water, cane sugar, apple juice from concentrate, malic acid, natural flavor, carbon dioxide, and sulfites to serve freshness. I think that's the first time I've seen a cider list carbon dioxide as an ingredient.
Yeah, that's not completely necessary,
but I guess they just want to cover all their bases since they have such a wide distribution.
So they back sweeten with apple juice. Mm-hmm. They also use natural flavors, which is probably some natural apple extract flavor to make it extra appley.
Let's taste this brand new cider we've never had before.
Yeah.
Tastes like carbonated apple juice.
Yeah.
Like school apple juice.
Mm-hmm. Mott's. Mm-hmm. Just apple juice.
So, not bad.
No.
A little sweet for my taste. I prefer drier cider, but it doesn't really taste like cider. It kind of just tastes like apple juice, which is something we ran into with another of the tastings we did, but I don't remember which one it was now.
I don't either. Definitely tastes like apple juice. You can barely taste anything else. Like there's no, like a lot of cider has a white wine going on. This has none of that. It tastes like apple juice.
There's no yeast taste. There's no tannin. It's not overly acidic.
Yeah.
It just tastes like apple juice. It's just apple juice that'll get you drunk, and there's nothing wrong with
No, it's fine. It's 5% ABV apple juice. It's fine. Now, if I were to drink this, and I do on occasion, I'll pour it over ice. Keeps it really cold, and it dilutes it just a little bit to make it a little less
so sweet.
It makes it kind of like a nice outside in the summer drink. Something you want, something pretty low ABV because it's going to dilute a little bit, make it nice and crisp, refreshing. It's very good. There's a place for it. It's just
in general.
Sweet.
Pro tip: a lot of ciders are very good over ice. I know that seems counterproductive because you would never do that with a beer, but cider's pretty good on ice.
Yeah, and it's completely acceptable to do that.
Yeah, that's a traditional European thing.
I'm sure it is. I've heard of it. So. Must be true. All right. So what do you think?
So this is not hard for me to rate because I've kind of used it as a benchmark.
That's fair. I
All
was
this
kinda
time,
thinking that too.
I have used Angry Orchard regular ass apple cider as a 3 the whole time because it's not great, but it's not bad. They're not screwing anything up. It's just tastes like apple juice, and it's
I completely agree.
It is exactly what you would expect out of what is probably, I'm not going to look up the statistics, the most widely sold apple cider in America.
Yeah, it's definitely the most advertised hard cider in America, especially down here. It's this or Woodchuck or now Strongbow and a couple other things, really. I think it's a good 3 as well. I think it's a really decent cider to give someone who's never had a cider,
Yeah,
and who's afraid of beer, and maybe their thing is like Smirnoffs or wine, certain wines, or their thing may be those Limeritas or something, something super sweet. This might be kind of a transition into cider. I'm sure it would work for some people. I mean, it was the first cider I ever tried, I'm sure.
I think we had Woodchuck here first.
Maybe.
I think Angry Orchard came second for us.
Yeah. Similar thing with that, though. Sweet cider. Nothing wrong with it. Yep.
So, next up, we have the green apple version of Angry Orchard's hard apple ciders.
Yes.
Made with Granny Smith apples.
No, it doesn't.
Probably.
It doesn't say that.
It doesn't say it, but
Doesn't say
it has to have something different in the ingredient list. Is
Probably just
identical.
more malic acid. Let's be real. Yeah. It's got 1 more gram of sugar. This is 21 grams of sugar versus 20 grams of sugar with crisp apple. Everything else is exactly the same on the ingredient list. It's 5% ABV. So it's just a little tartar, I believe.
I don't like sour apple stuff.
I don't know if it's sour. We'll see. Alrighty. How's it smell? It smells apple-y or more apple to me.
I suppose so.
It smells kind of like apple skin.
Yeah.
That's so different. Is it less tart?
Much. It's less tart. It's less sour. It's
Yeasty. A little bit.
a little. It just doesn't. The other one just tasted like apple juice, and this.
This kind of tastes like sugar water. Slightly apple flavored sugar water.
It's not even very carbonated.
It's old. I don't know if it is. I don't see any dates or anything. It's so different, and I thought I remembered what that was like. This green apple.
I've never had the green apple one before because I avoid green apple things because they're normally very
I've had it,
sour. That's interesting. It's very different. It's not bad.
Somehow it tastes a little less sweet to me than the crisp, which is surprising, and I don't know if that's legitimate.
The flavor is a little more like a Granny Smith apple. Like it's just missing the sourness and the tartness.
It's definitely not nearly as much tartness as the crisp.
Which is saying a lot. It's already not a sour or tart cider.
No. It's unexciting. There's not much going on really for me.
This is slightly less good than just apple juice.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like a watered down apple juice.
Like if you had a green apple flavored Kool-Aid packet.
Yeah. Yeah, I could deal with that. That's what it most feels like to me. Yeah. Not great.
So what you thinking for a rating?
2.5.
I'm gonna go 2. Yeah. It's just it feels sad in my mouth. There's no carbonation, there's no strong flavor, it's just a little sweet and a little appley water.
I would agree with that assessment at the end. A little sweet, a little appley, water. It's very boring to me.
Yeah.
It's weird. I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting a lot more sour and tart. But
Yes, I was too, which I'm kind of happy it wasn't that because I wouldn't have liked that very much, but this is just depressing.
yeah. Just had to do that once.
So lastly, we have Angry Orchard Easy Apple, which is supposed to be less sweet. It is certainly less alcohol by volume,
What is it?
4.2% ABV.
Oh, yeah. That's like Michelob Ultra.
But it's not anywhere close to dry. We're still at, 15 grams of sugars.
Yeah, to compare, when we were making cider commercially, we made our sweetest cider was called the medium. And we called that because it was medium sweetness by guidelines, which we'll discuss in another video.
There are rules.
Yeah, and so it only had, I believe it had 5 to 8 grams of sugar, somewhere in there. I don't remember specifically. 5 to 8 grams of sugar per 12 ounces. So this is, we'll just say double that.
And this is their less sweet.
Yeah, version. So we'll see. We also had a cider that had exactly 0 grams of sugar. Completely dry.
Oh, it's got a lot different smell.
Does it? It does. It smells more like cider to me.
Yeah, that actually smells like apple cider.
It smells like
Get a little of that peel, a little tannin.
tannin, peel, and yeast.
Yeah.
The yeast kind of gives it like a bread smell. Like it makes me think apple pie a little bit. Just
It
a
actually
little bit.
smells aged.
But there is tannin in the smell.
Mhm.
I like that. I really like that smell.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Unfortunately, it is good.
It's still sweet.
Yeah, but it's, you know what? It tastes like they just watered it down.
No, it's got more of that
It does.
almost oaky flavor to it. I know this wasn't barrel aged,
It's
but
tannin. It does have a good bit of tannin. I do appreciate that. But it's also a little watery to me.
in the apple flavor, yes.
Yeah.
In the
Tannin, no.
but it's more tannin forward. It's a lot closer to what I expect out of apple cider.
Yeah.
Than one from somewhere.
It is definitely better than these two, but also, yeah, like you said, closer to apple cider. But from what we know about apple cider, we know that this one is honestly the furthest away from real apple cider because of the alcohol content.
I mean, that part, yeah.
4.2% ABV implies a few things. They either diluted an existing cider, or they diluted the juice before they fermented it, or something. So there's less apple juice going into this, for sure. And I think that's where the, wateriness comes from for me. It's not to detriment. I mean, I really do like the tanniny characteristic.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite of the three.
Mm-hmm.
It's headed in a more positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you mean. The flavor is very thin for what it is.
This is unfiltered. That's why I think it has that yeasty flavor, and I think that's contributing a little bit to the tannin flavor. You can't filter out tannins, obviously, but that may be why it tastes a little yeasty. Mm-hmm. And I like that. So that kind of, I believe they make a crisp apple version that is unfiltered. So that might be pretty good if we got this unfiltered.
Still be pretty sweet.
It'd be sweet, but in theory you'd have some more tannin quality, not real tannin quality. It would be yeasty, which is good for. I mean, I like it. Yeah. What do you think?
Like I said, better than the first, I think, in just my personal preference. Not great, but
no.
3.25.
Yeah, and I'm only giving it a 3.25 because I don't want to break it down any further. You know what I mean? I don't think it's quite a 3.25, but it is better than the crisp, so I'm going 3.25.
Yeah, if I went to a gas station and these were the options, I would definitely pick up this one. Tastes more like apple cider than just sweet recessed apple juice.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Hopefully one day we are able to get our hands on some Angry Orchard not available in Mississippi.
Yeah, and there's even more flavors of Angry Orchard that we've had before that we just couldn't find this time.
When we were up in Baltimore for CiderCon a year and a half ago now, almost 2 years ago now, there was some Angry Orchard up there on tap in some bars and places that were absolutely phenomenal. They were heritage style ciders, like
very traditional and not very mass market tasting at all.
So good.
And even we've tried the Angry Orchard Rosé, which we'll go into our rosé tasting comparison video thing.
Yeah, later.
It's better than all these.
Honestly, I do think so. Yes. Yeah. So as far as the mass-produced ciders that are, mass marketed and all that, this is a heavy majority of what you're going to find, especially down here in the South where cider's not readily available.
There's not a huge market. There's no orchards here to support.
So it's good to know that there is something here that's decent.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if I were given the choice, I'd go with Easy Apple here, or the Rosé. But we didn't taste the Rosé in this video, so yeah.
So that's been us for Backwater Cider. We taste ciders. We do stuff like that. Follow social media things.
Yes.